Hello, Deep Soul Divers. This is North Node Scorpio, South Node Taurus, Part 2. In the first video, I talked about some of the basic energies of experiences for people that have the North Node in Scorpio and South Node in Taurus. And now I'm going to, focus on some things that I want to go into deeper about these nodes that I didn't cover in the first video. First of all, I have this node, and I've experienced several things that I've also had clients tell me that they experienced. So through my research, I started, taking notes on this and want to share it with you. One of the most painful nodes is these nodes, South Node Taurus, North Node Scorpio. And that's because Scorpios, like we talked about in the first video, they are all about transformation and change and intensity. And Scorpio is the sign of rebirth and healing and strength, the eagle. And it's a very strong, passionate sign that also goes through, lots of growth and changes throughout their life. And so having the South Node in Taurus, you can imagine a Taurus South Node, which is what you're comfortable with and what you've been living for many lives. They like stability. And not just that, their self-worth comes from being peaceful and having comfort and peace and harmony, because Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. So all the pretty things and having material possessions, having pretty art, owning nice things, clothes, houses, cars, all those material types of items make a Taurus person feel happy because it's comfortable. It's earth, it's an earth sign, so they like to have that comfort in their life. So it's okay to have comfort. It's okay to have some stability in your life. But the problem is that Taurus South Nodes tend to hold on to all of these things too tightly. And what I experienced is I've always attracted material things very easily. And a lot of people with this node tell me that, they have what they need material-wise, money-wise, financially, to survive. They don't struggle a lot with survival and money and things like that. They usually are provided for. The universe provides for them. But they can become very attached to security and stability, and so much so that they refuse to grow and they refuse to move on and learn new things. And the North Node in Scorpio forces the person to release their attachment to material things. And I went through this time when I was trying to move into my North Node naturally. After my first Saturn return, I started trying to do things that were more Scorpio, like what would a Scorpio do? So one thing is, if something was pretty, like if it was like a statue of an angel or a beautiful painting, something that normally I would want to buy, if I saw it, I want to own it and have it for myself, which is Taurus. I would say no. Do I really need it? Does it benefit me? I had to learn to appreciate things and not have to own them, and be able to say, okay, that's beautiful, but I don't have to have it as my own. I don't have to purchase it and collect it and have all these things cluttering my house. So part of that is the North Node Scorpio, releasing your attachment to material things. With this node, a lot of people give up a lot of things in their life because it weighs them down and they need to feel lighter. And by letting go of these material things and their need for, comfort, they grow and become more spiritual. This is the node of the spiritual life. This is the node of the soulmate lifetime. And that's what's important to remember. The North Node in Scorpio person has to feel spiritual. And that is in every area of their life. Their work, the relationships that they're in, their marriages, their friendships. they have to have bonds with spiritual people. And as they go through the first Saturn return, they change a lot. And they start moving into that node, which is new. And as we get older and get more and more, advanced and grow, and as we, become more mature, we start feeling the North Node more. And through that, North Node Scorpio people are transformed. They have many deaths and many rebirths. Their identity is stripped from them. Who they are and who they want to become is constantly changing until they get to the mission, which is embracing becoming a total Scorpio North Node person, which is often a painful process. Scorpio North Node people are meant to live simple, a simple spiritual life. Many of them tell me, by the time they're 60, after they go through that second Saturn return, they tell me that they released everything, like from their life. The relationships that were stagnant and not helping them grow, the relationships that weren't with spiritual people, or if their partner was not spiritual and on the same spiritual path as them, they had to divorce or release that person or that relationship in that intimate way, because Scorpio North Nodes are meant to be intimate and have a deep soulmate bond this lifetime. They're meant to have that, and they have to find that. And unfortunately, we don't know all of this when we're growing up, and a lot of people, marry young, and they have to go through a lot of heartache and a lot of sacrifice, and they have to release things with this node that's stagnating and holding back. Because if they don't do it themselves, the universe will take things and people away from them. The universe will strip it away and force the person to be a Scorpio North Node, and that's where it's painful. It's like the rug's pulled out from underneath you, and you're left with the rubble. So it's better to make baby steps, like we talked about in the first video, towards change and growth. And one of the things that I went through with this node that was the hardest thing for me is I was always a very happy person, very light and energetic and funny. I had a lot of energy, and I always was very positive. And I went through, I guess you call it the dark night of the soul. After I went through my first Saturn return, when I started feeling that Scorpio North Node, it really scared me, because I felt, oh my gosh, what am I becoming? I'm feeling like I'm cold, or I'm hard inside. A little bit of a coldness and hard feeling. And I also felt a lot of anger, which I had never felt before. I never really knew what anger was, to be honest with you. As a 12th house sun person, I never got angry. I never expressed anger. It wasn't that I wasn't okay with being, showing anger. I just never got angry until I went through my first Saturn return and started moving towards that Scorpio North Node. I didn't know what anger was, and I would feel this rage, this anger inside, and this coldness and harshness, and especially when people would hurt me, where in the past I didn't feel that way. And I started realizing I had to be okay with this new feeling of the new me. Like, it's like I died and was reborn. Like, the Carmen that I was my whole life was gone. And I was this new person, and I was feeling this way, and I didn't like it. I remember telling my friend, I don't like feeling like this. I don't like feeling Scorpio. And but I knew I had to. I knew I had to embrace that part of myself, because that's my mission. And I'm continually learning to be a Scorpio. And it's funny, because I attract a lot of Scorpios into my life, and I learn from them, and I learn what it's like to be a Scorpio, the positive traits of Scorpio, not the negative. Every sign has negative traits, the positive traits of Scorpio. And that's what I'm trying to learn, and that's what all North Node Scorpio people can do. The biggest thing is to know is that you will outgrow things and people and likes and dislikes and feelings, and you will want to change, and you will want to start new throughout your life, to get on a very simple path. A lot of people with these nodes give up everything they have, like when they're older, and travel to some other country, become a missionary, or live real simple and open up a little spiritual bookstore and live in a little apartment and have an old car and become very simple in their living. They release a lot of material possessions and give their money to a lot of people and become very generous because they know what it's like to have all of those things, but those things don't bring happiness. And that Taurus energy cannot fulfill the person's soul this lifetime, so they have to become a spiritual person. And to be truly spiritual means you have to have some pain and sacrifice in your life and to feel loss. And through feeling loss and feeling that things are taken away from you, which is what these nodes do, you transform into a healer and into a stronger person. It's a continual process. You know, I'm not 60 yet. I'm hoping that by the time I'm 57 that I'm in my North Node Scorpio fully so I can enjoy my life a little bit more and have more fun. But it is a very intense node, and you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that can help. So the biggest things that help me to embrace this is to not be so hard on myself and not be a perfectionist, which is hard because I'm a Virgo. But to take care of yourself and not to expect so much of yourself so fast. To meditate, to journal, to exercise, to get enough sleep, to help others. All those things can help a North Node Scorpio person reach that node and find what spiritual things and gifts that you have and that you enjoy. You know, for me, it's astrology and counseling. For you, it might be tarot cards. It might be crystals. It might be, energy work. Find what you love to do and the spiritual outlet and immerse yourself in that and read up on Scorpio traits and read up on Taurus traits. And you need to let go of all the stubbornness, all the intense need to hold on to things longer than you need to. You need to forgive and let go and truly forgive and forget, which is what a Scorpio does, where a Taurus never forgets. They may forgive, but they will always remember. They're very nostalgic, and they remember everything from the past. They have lots of memories. Scorpio North Node is meant to let all of those memories go and create a brand new life, a brand new blank slate for your soul and person to become in the path that you're on, creating new memories of the future. So releasing the past. So that's all for now. I'll share more videos soon.